It's been a long road. Nah, I don't know why I keep saying long road. It's been a long walk to freedom, comrade. It's been a long walk to freedom. It's been a long walk to inner liberation. It's been a long walk to inner liberation. It's been a long walk to inner liberation. It's been a long walk to freedom, comrade. It's been a long walk to freedom. It's been a long walk to freedom, comrade. It's been a long walk. It's been a long walk to inner liberation. It's been a long walk to inner liberation. It's been a long walk to inner liberation. It's been a long walk. Yo, good morning. Sawubona, you creative visionary. Igama lam uThembelihle. Intombi yakabuthelezi, Queen Bringer of Good Hope. Welcome to Ithemba Temple. Welcome to Ithemba Temple. Yes, thank you for being here. This is our last live stream for 2025. I'm thankful for you being here. So grateful. Thankful. So grateful. Yes. It's been an incredible year of growth. Evolution. It's been an incredible year. It's been an incredible year. It's been a difficult year for all of us. Honestly, it's been a difficult year for all of us. It's been a challenging year. A challenging year. If you can honestly say this year was 2025 was not a challenging year, I would call BS on that. It's been a challenging year. Whether you have billions of dollars, whether you don't even have a dollar. Well, I don't know anybody who doesn't have a dollar, but it's been a challenging year. And I think we can be in the presence of acknowledgement of our resilience. That spirit of resilience, we can be in the acknowledgement of it and in gratitude for how resilient we are, and acknowledge that about ourselves. What you focus on increases. What you acknowledge about yourself becomes more potent and becomes the dominant energy that lives through you and moves you forward into 2026. Just that acknowledgement about your resilience, your creativity. It's powerful. It's powerful. Give thanks to yourself for embodying that level of resilience during 2025. Give thanks to yourself, to your higher self, and for being creative in how you paid your bills. You know, when you could have resorted to ways that are out of integrity. Be grateful to yourself. for the times you showed vulnerability and you had an emotional breakdown. You're like, I just can't take it. And yet you were still able to wake up the next day and keep moving. Forgive yourself. Self-forgiveness for me is the only way forward. Forgive yourself for the times you didn't show up at your best. Forgive yourself. Just forgive yourself for those times when you allowed others to treat you poorly because you didn't believe you were worthy of others treating you well. Forgive yourself for that and never go back. So I would like to start off with calling our energy back, because calling our energy back is really an important part of Itemba Temple. As you know, I really like this. Call your energy back. Call your energy back. It's very important. I don't understand. We need to call our energy back. There's so many people who are walking around with our ideas, tapped into our energy sources. Like, no, keep your grubby hands out of my life. My life. You have a right, visionary, to call back your energy. You have a right. And whatever must happen, must happen. Let the chips fall where they may. Just call back your energy. Call back your energy. Okay? So please gently close your eyes. Focus on the middle part of your forehead. Roll your eyes up. Sit up straight, shoulders back. You can even roll your shoulders forward, roll them back a little bit. And breathe in through the nose and hold a little bit. And then sigh out loudly. Let your body remember that it is totally okay to just exhale. Just feel your body exhale. And drop the shoulders. And remind your body that it is perfectly okay to feel safe in your own body through breath. Yes? Okay. And I'll make a transmission for you. So let's gently close our eyes and start breathing. ezisebenzisa umoya wethu abawela abantu abasebenzisa umoya wethu, moya wethu, moya wethu, buyeka ya moya wethu, buyeka ya. Abawela abantu, aziwe lezi zinto, seziwile lezi zinto, bo, ziwile lezi zinto, bo, seziwile lezi zinto, bo. Sekunjalo. Taking a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth with a big sigh. Another deep breath in through the nose. One last deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And gently open your eyes. Yeah, there we go. Today, there was a change. I called back our collective energy. There was a shift. It just happened. It's like asking for our collective energy to be called back. It's so beautiful. I've always done that, but today was so specific. I just felt it shift. It was like a beautiful just shift. Yeah. Nature mystic. Nature mystic. Shall we read? Rest and reflection. The sanctuary of sacred fire. I have not been angry without cause. Today is restoration through sacred fire. After a week of examining righteous anger and practicing fierce advocacy, your nervous system needs space to integrate the powerful energy that sacred anger generates. Rest includes resting in your righteous fire rather than extinguishing the flame that serves justice. True rest comes from alignment between your sacred anger and positive action, between your righteous fury and protective advocacy, between your fierce love and systemic transformation. When you channel sacred anger towards justice rather than revenge, that energy becomes sustainable fuel for long-term advocacy and protective service. Your righteous anger doesn't need to be suppressed to rest. It needs to be honored as sacred fire that serves love through fierce protection and justice advocacy. Today you practice sustainable fury, maintaining your sacred anger as naturally as breathing, without burning out or burning others. Embodiment practice. Sit quietly and feel the warm fire of righteous anger in your belly. Not reactive rage, but sacred fire that serves justice. Notice how this anger feels sustainable, energizing, and clarifying, rather than depleting. And say, I rest in sacred fire and maintain righteous anger that serves love through fierce protection and justice advocacy. Let's read again. Today is a restoration through sacred fire. After a week of examining righteous anger and practicing fierce advocacy, your nervous system needs space to integrate the powerful energy that sacred anger generates. Rest includes resting in your righteous fire rather than extinguishing the flame that serves justice. So yesterday, we started this conversation about Nelson Mandela's long walk to freedom. And I shared with you that having chosen in this lifetime to come through the Zulu lineage, specifically the Buthelezi family, I knew that I needed to really work through my rage. Number one, the Zulus in South Africa are a powerful tribe. Like, if you ever get time and you've got some time, especially now that it's holiday season, and you really want to understand the power of the Zulu people, watch Shaka Zulu. It's a story, and it might not be fully, truthfully represented, but a lot of it is represented well. Watch the documentary on the YouTubes, Shaka Zulu. Watch it and see. The Zulu people, very smart, very smart, very, very smart geniuses. When you find a Zulu genius, you bet them run for your life. Not only are they hella smart, they're very strategic because they're warriors. Not only that, their bodies are built for war. They're built for longevity. It's like, okay, not now. Because now they eat pap and vlees and Zulu people, hey Zulu. Cha, asike sikhulume le ndaba. Like, our bodies were built for like longevity, for... I met a boy, 2017, I was coming back from South Africa. I was on a flight back from South Africa to America, or I was going to China. No, I was to America. And I met this, it was America. I met this boy on the flight. When I looked at this boy, I said, you must be Zulu. He says, yes, in Puma, KwaZulu. I said, what are you going to do in America? He says, oh, I'm going to work. He was a personal trainer, and he was going to work at one of the old people resorts. So they had this exchange program where when you graduate high school, you can go and have a year-long work experience in America. So he was on that program, and this boy, he spoke such beautiful Zulu. Oh my goodness. He touched me so deep. I think he was like, I was 36 then. He was 22, 23. Oh, that boy was he was gorgeous. Truly gorgeous. Like he represented beauty in a Zulu man. Okay, his body was just in his speech. He's just even how he stood and had his shoulders back. I said, yo, I am a Zulu. Okay, so anyway, I digress. He was a very beautiful, smart young boy, and he was willing to work. He was willing to work at old people's home, retirement homes in Florida. And he was going to be a waiter and personal training for the gym for the old people. At least he got to get out of South Africa and go and live in America for a year and learn something about himself. And so I used to talk to him every week, and I used to recommend books for him to read. And he used to call me all the time. Hey, Sisi, manje uthi ngenzeni la? My sister. And we just met on the plane. But I knew that he wouldn't know what to do he would know what to do in America, but like so that his year-long American experience could be enlightening. I made sure that he watched YouTube videos, and I gave him books, and I said, when you get to your paycheck, please go to Barnes and Nobles and buy a book. Don't just go out dancing, all sorts of these things, getting girlfriends, it's going to make you mad. Okay. I should really email him. Make sure that you grow while you're in America. Okay, I digress. Let's go back to the Zulus. The Zulus are power. I am a Zulu, they are power. So, Nelson Mandela was a very, very gentle man. That is the story we know of Nelson Mandela. Okay? There was a 4-year period of intense war between ANC and IFP in South Africa. This is when the Buthelezis, they were Mangosuthu Buthelezi was in his Zulu rage. He was in his Zulu rage. This is when there were so many murders in South Africa, like so much killing, so much war, black on black, black on black. This is when my father used to pray, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, eat his dinner, pray, take his gun and his machete out the door to go protect his own children and his wife. Because ANC, Nelson Mandela's political party, Buthelezi, Mangosuthu Buthelezi's political party, at war, fighting, black on black. Who knows truly what they were fighting for? Because there were so many stories, but it was engineered. It was an engineered war. Black on black. Engineered. Annihilation consciousness would have you feel shame about your lived experiences. I remember when I went back to South Africa, 2017, after the shooting in Las Vegas, I went and had a conversation with my dad about the stuff because I was like, I'm starting to remember all of these things from apartheid time. And this is when also my dad was telling me about his traumas, and we were working through the stuff together. And I remember distinctively my dad saying to me, don't talk about Mangosuthu Buthelezi. I don't even know why you didn't change your last name. I said, but like, why would I change my last name? It's royalty. Why would I want to change my last name? He's like, but you're married to a white man. Why didn't you just change your last name and just become your husband? I said, why would I give up my last name? I'm not ashamed of anything. I am a Buthelezi. In this lifetime, I chose to be a Buthelezi. I chose to come through the Zulu people. Why would I want to change my last name and be something else? NguThembelihle Buthelezi. My dad said, "Aye, too much baggage, too many bad things." I said, but I didn't go around doing all of these bad things. Since when am I a political leader? It has nothing to do with me. I remember the shame my dad carried. And I said, but this is not your shame. You were fighting. You are a Buthelezi. You were never in politics. Since when were you in politics? You are a mystic. You are a visionary. You were an insurance broker. You were a businessman. Why are you having shame about things that have nothing to do with you? Your wife was into these politic things. You were never into politics, were you? So your wife was into politics. My mom loved these politic things. And my dad always used to say to her, just get out of these things. Get out of these things. Not healthy. So I was having a conversation with my dad about this stuff. And my dad was like, yeah, but Thembi, you know, there are a lot of bad things happen. And you know, people, they just associate your last name with all of the bad things. They don't even recognize that, no, I, as a Buthelezi, I can choose a different path. I don't have to choose the path of war. I said to him, my dad, but Baba, we don't really know the full story. And what kind of trauma, if you are now experiencing the kind of trauma where you are having panic attacks inside of a grocery store, what kind of trauma did Mangosuthu Buthelezi experience to be the kind of leader that he was? Yes, as Zulu people, we are very, very violent. We are warriors. You come to my house, you disturb my peace, I will deal with you. And I am not ashamed to tell you this. I will deal with you. I don't have to deal with you. My ancestors will deal with you. Rachta, rachta. They will deal with you. Okay. So I said to my dad, what is the shame about? You chose a different path. Instead of politics, you chose the path of a mystic. You chose the path of a businessman. So what's the shame about? Why are you holding on to things that have nothing to do with you? He said, aye, Thembi, you know, South Africans, they are like this. They are like this. I said, Baba, really, it has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with you. Don't take on shames that don't belong to you. Don't. But this is the collective culture. Let's carry the shame together. No, let's not. It has nothing to do with me. What your choices and your decisions are and how you have sold your own country and your own mother and what you have done has nothing to do with me. I was not there. So, annihilation consciousness would have you feel ashamed of who you are. And that's when I got it. I said, shadow work is very important. But they keep you so busy. Annihilation consciousness keeps you, didn't we say here? Burnout. What is it? Today you practice sustainable fury, maintaining your sacred anger as naturally as breathing without burning out or burning others. The Zulus have a understanding. War, emote. War, emote. Okay? Long-term sustainability as a leader requires you to understand when to take a sabbatical, so that you can integrate. Surrender to the wisdom that moves you forward instead of looping backwards, trying to fix backwards, trying to fix backwards. This is why leaders are burning out. Because even if it is NGO work, even if it is true justice work, even if it's Wall Street work, business consulting, we're burning out because we don't inherently understand that there must be time for rest and reflection. It is only when my dad had taken a lot of time off, we just started spiraling out, and his business collapsed, that all of this trauma came to the surface, and unconscious projected shame for being born into the Buthelezi royalty family, that he started speaking about the shame he held for being a Buthelezi. I said, okay, but why is this your shame? You were never in politics, so how is this your shame? He says, "Hi, Tembi, you've always been like this. You just speak. You must learn to speak." I said, Baba, but seriously, this is not your shame. You did not murder hundreds of thousands of people. So why is this now your shame? Were you there? You were protecting your own family with your gun and machete. How could you have murdered all these people? And is it a true story that Inkatha Freedom Party murdered all these people? Could it be that the story is missing some components? Is half-truth? Could it be? Okay, after this conversation with my dad, I met that Zulu boy from South Africa. That was the trip. I had that conversation with my dad, and on the flight, I met that young Zulu boy. And I was actually having a conversation with him about him. I was like, you must keep that Zulu fire going. It is only maybe 2018 that I realized after that conversation with my dad that I kind of had that same shame of being born, number one, in the Zulu family, in the Zulu tribe. Number two, in the Buthelezi royal family. I'm like, okay, that's kind of strange. That's kind of strange. But the shadow was arising because of the conversation I had with my dad. Your ancestral shadow will arise at the time of your greatest ascension, your greatest growth. And it will be the impetus, the catalyst to your growth. You have your own shadows. People have called me prostitute. I'm like, don't resonate. Don't have that kind of shame. It doesn't resonate with me. Witch. Yeah, you're right. I am a nature mystic. But also I don't even resonate with the witch wound. The wound, the shadow wound that was messing me up was this Buthelezi, Inkatha Freedom Party, Mangosuthu Buthelezi. I'm like, I used to walk around the world proud. I'm Tembi Buthelezi. Until my dad brought it up and he said, but you understand that your last name carries a lot of death. I'm like, but I wasn't there. How old was I? 10 years old, 11 years old, 14 years old? Like, I'm sorry. I was not there. And I think unconsciously, after watching Truth and Reconciliation, because the war in South Africa happened then, black on black war happened, and then Truth and Reconciliation, I was 16 years old watching Truth and Reconciliation. I think this is when the idea of, inner reconciliation was born. Because I watched those people sharing their stories about how they lost their children, how their children were killed, especially the Winnie Mandela one. And I said, oh God, this is a good idea, truth and reconciliation. But seeing how people were gaslighted, women were crying and being gaslit, I said, maybe there's a deeper level of healing that must unfold here. This was my dark shadow work that I had to sit with myself and overcome. Thailand was one of the best places to work through this shadow, because it was kind of like following me. And I remember having a conversation with Ishmael Tete and Doreen Hamilton, and they brought it up. It was kind of like, yeah, but your family is responsible for many murders. Okay, so you want to be Nelson Mandela? You're a pedophile. Makes no sense. But this for me was my shadow. The Buthelezi family is vast. It's a big family. And in that family, there are those that sell their own country, hire hitmen to kill their own siblings. And there are those that take a path of peace and no revenge and their own path. The Buthelezi family is vast. And this was my shame. This was the dark part of my healing integration. I was not there. I did not kill anybody. I was not there. I was 14 years old. And even in the past 5 years, with all of the betrayals that will happen, I was not there. I am not responsible. I am not responsible. We are not sharing this burden. I was not there. Why am I sharing this with you? Because if you don't look at your own shadow and rest in it, look at the shadow of your family, your ancestors, that energy will follow you. It will follow you. You will not understand why you cannot succeed. You will not understand why you go forward and then backward, forward and then backward, forward and then backward. You won't understand this. It's kind of like you have chains that are like holding you back, and you're trying to move forward, and these chains, and you're trying to move forward, and these, and you've got chains on your legs that are just dragging you down. Because I was having these conversations with my dad, and I said, but Baba, you're a visionary. I have not met a man as smart as you. Honestly, I mean, I've not met a man that's smart as you. Like, you're a visionary. And, okay, my dad was already very, he was starting to have dementia. And he was not really, like trauma had really, really, really messed with his mind. And the shame of being or choosing to be born into the Buthelezi royalty family, that is what got him. And he said to me, well, at least you got married to a white man. I said, you didn't want my white husband. You wanted me to marry a black man. So now it's okay that I married a white man. He says, I think it was a good choice. You see, your stubbornness really helped you. The very stubbornness that I used to beat you for, it really helped you. Because now you're free from the shame. I said, but I wasn't there. Why must I go around taking shames that have nothing to do with me? Look at your shadow. Look at your shadow. Tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and inner reconciliation. And then also look at the shadow of the family that you come from, because I'm telling you, those chains will hold you for years. You will just keep repeating the cycles and the cycles and the cycles and the cycles. And that intergenerational trauma will never be healed. And you will just keep repeating, and your children will keep doing the same thing as you, the same thing as you. And you will keep having the same fears as your grandparents, as your father, as your mother, as your ancestors. Why did these people work so hard then for you to be where you are? If you're not going to break the patterns and you're going to repeat the patterns, why? Tell me why. This goes, I've been saying, talking, like having these conversations even with my husband. My husband in 2015, he just started having this awareness that he wants to connect with his ancestors, and he started collecting pictures. I was like, this is so bizarre. He went on a tangent, collecting pictures of his childhood and grandma so-and-so and grandma so-and-so and grandma so-and-so. I was like, okay. And he got really upset with his brother because his brother had pictures. I was like, what is going on with you? I don't know. He was having his spiritual awakening, okay? He was like having his own spiritual awakening. Because my husband's a shaman. He's a little white shaman, an Irish shaman. And he just went on this tangent for years. I think it was like, 2014 he started. And he just went on and on and on and on about the pictures and trying to connect to his ancestors, to Ireland and to England. I was like, okay, this is so bizarre. So bizarre. So bizarre. But he was having his spiritual awakenings. The shadow. It's the shadow, the shames that your father, your mother, your grandparents held. Your great-grandparents. Yeah, they could have been warriors and visionaries and Black Panthers and Umkhonto weSizwe and Holocaust survivors and all of these survivors and thrivers and warriors but they have shame. They have shame, and this is how they're going to get you. This is how annihilation consciousness will get you, because I've watched myself. I didn't really realize that I now understand. I've been saying to you, I now understand why when people have had a profound spiritual awakening, they change their last name, they change their name, completely change their name. Because they don't want to be associated with whatever their family was or whatever their ancestry was. Okay, I get it. I don't really want to change my name because I want to sit, for the past 4 years, I've been sitting in this energy of the Buthelezi family, the great leadership of Umangosuthu Buthelezi, the intelligence of Ushaka Zulu, the level of war strategy, military strategy. I accept those gifts. I truly accept them. We are living in interesting times. I must be able to tap into that energy. You come to my house, I will call upon those ancestors. You harass me, watch and learn what happens. I don't care, even my own sibling. Watch and learn what happens. So I won't allow myself to just let that go. God consciousness is my true ancestry. And my people that I came through in this lifetime come from God. Pure Zulu consciousness. Heavenly consciousness. So I accept that about myself. In my masculine, I truly accept that, there's a part of me that's like real Zulu. Real Rachta Zulu. But I choose not to go to war. Why would I want to go to war? I choose not to, but I know how to use that military strategy. I am this. And from my mother's side, the Xhosa people, it's been a long walk to inner liberation. It's been a long walk to inner liberation. Okay, with Nelson Mandela and his long walk. But for me, instead of trying to free people, I've tried that with my mother and my sibling. I tried to free them. My sibling turned around, tried to kill me. No, not doing that again. Learned the lesson. I'm not here to free anyone. I'm here to show you the path to inner liberation. You're going to be on this planet for another 50 years if you're young. You're going to be on this planet for another 10 years, 20 years, depending on what age. Gen X, Baby Boomer, Gen Z, Gen Alpha. You're going to be here on this planet doing this thing. So you might as well just start walking. It's been a long walk to inner liberation. It's been a long walk. Because if we don't, together, walk the path of inner liberation, here's what happens. We recreate the wars. We recreate the hatred and the racism. We recreate the poverty consciousness. We recreate the sadnesses and the human trafficking. We recreate the disasters that we have been living through for years, hundreds of years. Why do we want to why do you want to do this? It makes no sense. Rest allows you to yield before you take your next step. Annihilation consciousness would have you be so busy and so distracted that you don't have time to rest and see. Because this is all energy. People will come to you, especially if they know your story. They know, oh, she's from South Africa. She's from the royal family. Look, okay. She's from the Buthelezi family. Then they Google, oh, Mangosuthu Buthelezi. Oh, he was a real revolutionist. Oh, wow, look at the wars. Look at what he... Okay, but it had nothing to do with me. My dad was not involved in that stuff. So why am I now having to carry energy for that? Why do you think you're going to manipulate me with that kind of energy? No, I am not manipulatable. I am not. I don't live with shame. You can call me a prostitute. It doesn't resonate with me. You can call me a witch. I don't care. It doesn't resonate with me. You can call me promiscuous. I don't care. It doesn't resonate with me because, honestly, I've been married 23 years. I've been with my husband 23 years. And before that, I was in monogamous relationships. So it doesn't resonate with me. There's nothing you can say to me that can shame me. Because honestly, I know myself. I know who I am. This is the level of self-worth and self-confidence that is required to be a leader with integrity. A leader who does not repeat ancestral patterns. A leader who can lead with vision and integrity. If you say to me, yeah, you are an angry person. Okay, yes, this one I can agree with. At times I'm real rageful. But I tell my truths. And instead of acting on that rage, I sit with myself. And I work that rage out within me. Not on other people, not making choices that eventually backfire and destroy people's businesses, small businesses, people's economies, people's livelihoods, people's health, I sit with my rage because I know that that is my kryptonite. So, your ancestors have given you positive and negative. The Zulus' military strength and strategic ability, military strategy. But they also gave me a little bit of the rage. I said, oh no, this one I've got to work through. I've really got to work through. I got to work through. My mother's side, the Xhosa people, it's been a long walk to freedom, comrade. It's been a long walk to freedom. Yes, the diplomacy. But lies too. Xhosa people are known to lie a bit. They lie. They like to tell stories. I don't know, but just Xhosa people lie a lot. Sorry, not sorry, but I understand this. I've had a lot of Xhosa friends growing up, and the lies they used to like to tell, I'm like, but why do Xhosa people like to lie so much? The Zulu people just punch you in the face. Just like, wow. They're like, wow. I'm like, okay. I like the military strategy. I like being able to access that level of intelligence. But the anger and the wars, I'm just like, I don't know. It's not for me. It's not for me. When that rage shows up in me, I know that there is a power that, well, number one, there's a shadow aspect of myself that needs to be acknowledged and worked through. There is a boundary that is being violated. I am not standing up for myself. I have forgotten who I am in that moment. And so I need to now deal with myself so that I can deal with the situation at hand. And if I have to get my ancestors to deal with you, well, then it's not good. It's not good at that point. Okay? From my mother's side, it's the diplomacy. The ability to understand people, to seek to understand. This is why I was sharing with you yesterday that the scam centers on the border of Thailand, Cambodia, Myanmar, I could understand. When you're coming out of war and they say, hey, you can make some money to support your family, it's easy to fall into these scam centers. When now you're scamming Americans for money. It's so easy because you're so traumatized, you don't know what you're doing. So you'll say yes and join a scam center. There was a South African that was on the news that was in the scam center. I said, how did a South African go from South Africa all the way to a scam center in Myanmar, on the border of Myanmar and Thailand? It makes no sense. He had to call his parents, and his parents had to pay $3,000 to get him out of the mess that he was in. Because these scam center people are no joke. But I could understand how they get these young people to work at these scam centers. Because when I was at the temple, I was working with a lot of these young people coming out of war. And they would just say, I see ghosts. I see ghosts. I'm like, yeah, you're pretty traumatized. Because I lived it from South Africa. So the compassion from the compassion, the diplomacy from the Xhosa people, yeah, I really did get that from my mother's side. But the lying, no, I'm not interested in this. So they are, and it's not like my mother lied. My mother didn't like that. She used to beat you when you lie. Because she was a school teacher, so she just used to beat you here. But the Xhosa people have that thing of just lying. The Zulu people have their thing of just rage. So why am I sharing the vignette with you, and how does it relate to you? You have positive and negative traits from your mother's side and from your father's side. I don't know why I like to do these things like a horse. I'm a mermicorn. From your mother's side and from your father's side. And these traits are being passed down as energies They're being passed down, generation to generation to generation to generation to generation. If you don't sit down with yourself and examine this, you will end up telling lies and lies and lies that you don't even understand. And so this is now the negative trait. And then you will join into the war traits of your Zulu ancestry. So now you're raging online because your lies are collapsing. There you go. Bang. Therapy could have sorted this out. But no therapy, out to drink. Human being, you will keep repeating the same wounds that your ancestors have repeated for years. You will keep having the same pain that your ancestors have had for years. If you do not sit down with yourself and look at your shadow, I had to look at my shadow, and the rage, and then I said, oh, this rage is connected to my last name. In having that conversation with my dad, I understood the level of shame that my dad held for things that had nothing to do with him. I said, this is how they get you. I won't be gotten by that. I was not there. And what Busi Buthelezi has done and her dramas, I was not there. I'm so sorry. I was not there. Not sorry. Not my frequency, not my fate. I was not there. So do as you wish with her. It has nothing to do with me. I was not there. Leadership will require you to make hard decisions. They will call you whatever they must call you. Cold, callous. It doesn't matter. I'm sorry, I'm not going to prison for anybody. I was not there. And this is the path of true leadership. And especially as a woman, let me talk to the woman. With men, they can be kind of like cold at times in leadership, but there are men who are really, really kind and loving. My husband is one of those men. I am kind of like a cold Zulu woman when it comes to decisions. When it's time for a decision, especially if it's about my integrity, especially if it's about my livelihood, especially if it's about my sense of being and my soul, I'll throw you to the wolves. Whatever must happen to you must happen. I don't care. It has nothing to do with me. I was not there. This is the kind of sovereignty that is going to be required for the next 20, 30 years. Because as AI continues, we're not going to know what's real and what's not real. As AI avatars become better and better, we're not going to know what's real and what's not real. So you got to learn to live in your truth and tell the truth and the whole truth and nothing but the truth, and be committed to inner reconciliation, because if not, you will end up in situations where you don't even understand how you got yourself there. And you're going to have to learn how to speak your truths, number one. And make sure that you look at your shadow. Because now we live in surveillance, global surveillance world. So they know where you come from. They know who your grandfathers were. They know. They can find out. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. They've tried this on me. I am sharing this because this is my truth. They have tried it on me. They have tried to crush me with information about the Buthelezi family and tried to keep me small about this. But yes, you come from a family of murderers. I was not there. I was 14 years old. And it had nothing to do with me. ANC and Inkatha Freedom Party had nothing to do with me. I was 14 years old. My path was to give thanks for Nelson Mandela freeing the South Africans so that I could travel, get educated, work, have life experience, and in that path, liberate myself. Inner reconciliation, inner liberation, because truly that is the only path forward, because annihilation consciousness will get you without inner reconciliation and inner freedom. The jobs are gone. Okay? I don't know how long or if this AI thing will truly work, but okay, the jobs are gone. Peace. There's no peace. We will speak about peace. We will speak about peace until never. Because inside we are at war. This is what I understood from being a Zulu woman born in the Buthelezi royal family. All right. When you do not have peace within, you will go to war. Black on black war. Siblings hiring hitmen to kill their own sibling. No peace. Nelson Mandela started something very powerful, very noble. Because he understood if his people in South Africa did not have jobs, they could not eat, and then the theft and the lies and the killings would continue. So, noble cause. Give people jobs. Okay? But the problem is if I don't know my purpose, I will go to that job, get the paycheck, but I'm still dissatisfied and I still hate my job and I'm still miserable. So, inner reconciliation means, if people do not have a purpose, they hate their jobs. So AI is coming now. Thank you, Elon Musk, I guess, another South African, with his AI and Grok. They're taking over. Okay, so now jobs are gone. So really, honestly, inner reconciliation, find your purpose. Get real interested in your purpose. The story makes sense. You see now the puzzle coming together. The puzzle is coming together. I'm telling you, your purpose will speak itself. It will speak itself. Peace. That was one of Nelson Mandela's campaigning for being a president. Peace. There's no way you're going to have peace. I'm sorry. No way. This is why I came to Thailand. I sat down after 19 years of Vipassana meditation, checked myself into the soul hospital, started working on my own body temple. Yes? In the rage and being of service. Freedom. There's no such thing as freedom outside. Nelson Mandela tried it. We are still here. South Africans are killing each other. Look at the wildness of Elon Musk. Yes, he's financially free, but I don't think he sleeps at night. He's on ketamine. Okay. And I don't really know Elon Musk. I don't really care. But I'm like, wow, okay. We're all a part of this bigger picture, this bigger puzzle, cosmic purpose. And we're a little puzzle piece. That's why I'm like, thank AI. Thank Donald Trump. Thank the billionaires. Thank you very much. Now you're showing me and you are forcing me to get in line with my purpose. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Higher level consciousness. This is out of diaper consciousness. 2 to 5 year old consciousness. Higher level. Thank you so much. You are forcing me to get in line with my purpose. Thank you. Okay? That's freedom. Purpose will eventually lead you to inner peace because you're going to be so freaking happy doing what you're doing. Eventually, that is your freedom. Anything else? I'm not really sure. They will tell you don't have a lot of money, you will feel bad and have low self-esteem. They will tell you that you come from a family of murderers. I was not there. I was 14 years old and my dad didn't kill anybody, so I'm not really sure what the hell you're talking about. My sibling, on the other hand, not my problem. Has nothing to do with me. It is not my frequency. It is not my fate. They will tell you, wow, you're a horrible, cold person. You're just like the Zulu people, very strategic and cold. Yes, I accept that. But I will not go to prison for something I did not do. And I will not be associated with criminals. No, thank you. My dad was not a criminal. My mother was never a criminal. So I'm not associating with criminals. No, thank you. You're cold. Indeed, I am. So look at the shadow. Masculine, feminine, mother, father. Because annihilation consciousness will go straight there. And this is how they'll get you. Especially if you come from a prominent family, you've got a prominent family name, this is how they're going to get you. They've tried to shame me with this thing of, well, you come from the Buthelezi family. I said, oh, so you, Ishmael Tete, want to be Nelson Mandela? You're going to save the world. You? You're illiterate. This little thing of yours, Doreen Hamilton, illiterate. You wouldn't survive a year in South Africa. You're weak souls. You would not survive a year. The hell we have lived as South Africans, you wouldn't be able to survive. You think you can? Well, let's put you in Robben Island and see what happens. I have no idea how Busi Buthelezi got herself involved in this stuff, but when you do not work on your shadow, they will. This is how annihilation consciousness works. That's why I am saying to these young children on YouTube, you and your Black Panthers, they will kill you. This is far bigger than you. You have no idea how big this is. This annihilation consciousness is no joke. You think you understand trauma. You don't. You think you understand war. You don't. You think you understand darkness. You don't. You don't. As South Africans, we have lived this hell recently. A lot of these Western countries have not experienced war in the past 30 to 50 years. So you are soft, and yet you think you are macho. You have no idea how dark it can get, but you're soon going to learn. So, your ancestors have fought for you to be here. Do not disappoint them by repeating the past and repeating the past and repeating the past and repeating the past. Move forward. Evolve. Grow. Spiritually mature. Anything else, you are disgracing your ancestors. You are a blasphemy to the presence of God. And truly, you need to take time out. This is why it's important to rest. Over the weekends, read a book instead of nightclubs. Instead of malls, branches, sit with yourself. Integrate what you have learned through the whole week. The experiences you had during the week. My dad, we were never allowed to do anything on Sunday. It was integration day. After church, you sit at home, read a book, sit outside in the sun. Integration. Because you need to get prepared for the week ahead. Yes, it's 10:10. So I think today since it's our last day for 2020. So since a lot of people might be off for holiday, happy holidays, this is the time to emote. Because January, you get back at it again. Whether you're working for a company, whether you're working in your own business, you're back in the war zone again. And why are we even in war zones? But because we are at war in our own minds, in our own brains. So, human being, over the happy holidays, take it easy. Allow yourself to integrate what you have learned throughout this year, the challenges you have had and overcame this year. Allow yourself to integrate and say, wow, I've come far. Or I just completely lost it this year. And whom am I becoming next year? How can I make my ancestors proud next year? How can I grow as a human next year? What am I committed to working on in my shadow? Because if you don't, they can't get you. Annihilation consciousness will get you. You can lose money. You can always make more money. You can lose relationships. You can always find another relationship if you're whole. If you aren't healthy, you're going to go back into the same cycle. You can, have a health scare. You can go to the hospital, get some pills, operation, you get back on it. Okay? You can have a mental health crisis, crash out, psych ward. Then after that, you kind of normal when you're going to start going to therapy. The spiritual one is the most important one because you are a spiritual being. You are a spiritual being having a human experience. So get on the program of being spiritually strong. Spiritually strong. And making sound decisions by examining your choices. Because it's not going to get any easier. Rock and roll. But in the rock and roll, creation we are engaged in. Golden age we are engaged in. It's here. It's here. We just need to step back from the chaos and the drama and the craziness of annihilation consciousness and recognize it's already here. It's in consciousness. This is why I've shared my journey. Because if I just said, well, golden age, I'm so happy, I'm living in ecstasy, you're like, okay, bullshit. That's why I shared the journey. But more so, it was about sharing with you the emotional experiences. Because what is emotion? Energy in motion. If I don't share the emotional experiences, the anger, how I came out of it, the grief, the sadness, the apathy, and I just say, ecstasy, you're like, okay, she's really crazy. Your emotions are sacred. Your emotions are holy. You are the face of divinity. You are here for a beautiful, expansive experience of life because you are the puzzle piece in the cosmic purpose. Yes. Okay, let's sit for 10 minutes. And I hope that even during your holiday season, happy holidays, you're still going to sit 10 minutes every day. Just sit with yourself for 10 minutes. Okay? So let's just sit for 10 minutes. Let's just move energy. So please gently close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. In through your nose and out through your mouth. We've shared a lot throughout our journey to authenticity. We've shared a lot. Well, I've shared a lot. My sharing was to encourage you to tell your truth. You don't need a YouTube channel. You don't need to tell anybody your truth. It's about speaking truth to yourself about yourself, so that you can come to the vibration of inner reconciliation within yourself. I hope I've inspired you to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to yourself about yourself. The truth will liberate you, will set you free. Taking a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. As you start to tell the truth to yourself about yourself, there will be shameful memories that come up. Truly, you can forgive yourself. You can forgive yourself. Your ancestors have suffered, triumphed, laughed, created, broken down, triumphed, so that you could be here in this moment. Acknowledge the shadow. Transcend the shadow. Celebrate the good. Give thanks for the good that your ancestors have been, so that you can be here in this moment. Continue with the good. Continue with the good. So that the future generation of leaders can know that good is possible, that greatness is possible, that love is possible, that peace is possible, that abundance is possible because of your ancestors' hard work. Let's breathe in through the nose and breathe out through the mouth. Acknowledge the shadow. Rest in the truth of who you are. Celebrate the good. Tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And this path will lead to inner reconciliation, where you come to the understanding of your oneness with life. That you are an integral, important puzzle piece in the cosmic purpose. You are important. Your life matters. Breathing in through the nose. Breathing out through the mouth. You matter. Your life matters. You matter. You matter. Breathing in through the nose. Breathing out through the mouth. You matter. Let no one shame you. Integrate the darkness of your ancestors and the light, so you can come into sovereignty. You live shame-free at this point. No one can manipulate you. No one can corner you to do anything you don't want to do. Life itself will support you. Be willing to integrate your shadow, your ancestral shadow. This will bring you into awareness that you truly are the face of divinity, the face of love. Taking a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Taking a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. You are safe in the arms of love. You are safe in the vibration of truth. You are safe in the vibration of truth. Nothing can harm you when you tell the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. They will try. Annihilation consciousness can try, but it cannot. It has no power over truth. You are safe in the vibration of truth. You are safe. Taking a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Please open your eyes, your beautiful eyes, and smile. Yeah. Thank you for being on my journey. Thank you for being here with me on this incredible journey. There is something that you've learned from my story. I know there's a lot you've learned from my story. You're like, damn, God, but damn. Okay? Or maybe you're like, yo. Maybe you're like, dang. Whatever it is, I've shared authentically. This path for me has been for you to see elements of maybe your own life experience in me sharing my vignettes, my stories, my life path. It is for you, it's for me to inspire you to live in your truth and your authenticity. Because the more you live in your truth and your authenticity, annihilation consciousness cannot manipulate you. You will not find yourself in tricky situations. You will live a peaceful life and you will die peacefully. So you don't have to reincarnate into horrific hell realms. Horrific hell realms. Live in your joy. Live in your peace. Happy holidays. I love you long time. Long time. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to be doing my own mystic work. And then we will come back after the first week of January. I need to figure out what we're going to be doing because I've really enjoyed these experiences. Now I want to grow my channel and I want to be of service to more humans. Because that's really, truly what I'm here for. And I think I'm going to have to teach my husband how to work this so that he can answer questions as we get bigger at the Temba Temple. Yeah, and then I don't know where this goes, but I know it gets real big. It gets real big because my word is law. Never comes back void. So tell the truth, always be in truth. Love yourself. Love all those that are loving towards you. And all those that are nasty towards you, send them metta. May you be happy. May you be peaceful. May you be liberated from all ignorance. May you be liberated from your suffering. Not my frequency, not my fate. Don't take on people's stuff. Has nothing to do with you. So thank you so much for being here on this journey with me. I love you so much. I will see you next year. 2026, your way. It's going to be something. Joey. It's been a long road. To inner liberation, it's been a long road. Yes. I love you. See you soon.